What do you think? What's your thoughts? Your in-depth thoughts on the Superman casting? David Corny Sweat strikes again.
I hope they're good, but it's one of them. I mean, I don't really know the actors enough.
That doesn't matter. You should say that shit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Cavill.
The shit. They're not Henry Cavill. Zack Snyder needs to come back.
Yeah.
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag release the Air cut.
It's so funny because people have so David. The fuck is stupid? David Craven the Hunter has been saying online, like he said like in an interview ages ago, where he was like, I love Henry Cavill's dark and gritty take on Superman, but I'd love to do something more bright and optimistic. And everyone's like, oh, it's cute, he's been cast as Superman now.
Yeah.
The Snyder fans obviously lost their shit,
as
they do.
He's an enemy of the people.
He's an enemy of the state.
He needs to be tried for treason.
And so they've been tweeting out just photos of Henry Cavill smiling, like as Superman, just going, look, he was bright and optimistic too. Look at what you've done, James Gunn.
Didn't like Superman literally snap someone's neck?
He wore a black suit.
But what's funny is that he even said he likes it.
He said, I love it.
He loves it. He just personally
tweeting out saying, what the fuck? Look, Henry Cavill smiled at least 4 times in this film. He was bright and optimistic too. Fuck you, David. You're the reason we can't do nice things.
I don't know why anyone would want to join a DC movie at this point.
No, literally.
Because you've got kind of a lot of fucking Snyder weirdos.
See, this is the thing. So I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, genuinely, if you ask me on certain days, it might be my film of the decade. Potentially. If I'm asking me on a day where I'm feeling really sad.
Jesus Christ.
Then,
okay.
Or at least up there. Maybe not absolute film of the decade.
If you say Zack Snyder's Justice League is your film of the decade, you need to be on a watch list.
Like that Man of Steel and Batman Superman Ultimate Edition. I really love all those films. But with that being said, I can't understand for the life of me why that has like such a dedicated fucking cult fan base. Who gives a shit?
Weirdos.
Yeah, no, but literally
like weird Zack Snyder people.
But like, why is weird Zack Snyder people something that exists?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't really know. I mean, I think what it probably is that Zack Snyder's vision for these films was unique.
Yeah.
And everyone wanted more of that.
Wonder Woman was a Kryptonian.
But they wanted more of that.
Yeah.
People wanted more of that. And I get it.
Do you think it's just a case of people are angry that that it wasn't finished? So it's less...
No. I think also as well, I think the circumstances of, obviously, the Justice League 2017...
So do you think if the DCEU played out like it was meant to, that it would have these hardcore fans? Or do you think they only appeared because it got so fucked up?
Probably kind of got fucked up.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I still think there would be fans.
Oh no, absolutely. I would be a fan.
The fans would still exist.
I would be here.
But they wouldn't be as angry.
Okay.
And kind of, I mean, I think the problem with the Snyder fans is that I totally get it, and Warner Brothers fucked them over quite a few times, and I do think a part of where the DCEU fucked the way it was because of how reactionary Warner Brothers were.
I think you can trace everything back to fucking Joss Whedon's Justice League.
And the thing is, I don't. It's
trace a lot of things.
No, it's one of them. Like I don't necessarily think. I think if Warner Brothers stuck to the guns,
James.
No, but he's toxic.
No, he's toxic.
Needs to be.
You were a toxic nature apologist. What rating did you give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
5 out of 5.
Toxic James Gunn apologist. He is a sinner.
He is literally the devil.
Get him out of here.
But I mean, it's one of them. Like I admire Zack Snyder. I think he's an interesting filmmaker.
Yeah.
I just look. We were never gonna get Zack Snyder's Justice League was never gonna get released in cinemas.
This is the really interesting thing. I think the fact that if the DCEU happened like it was meant to, like God intended, the inevitable Justice League film we got. Assuming it wasn't Joss Whedon it was a full Zack Snyder production. Yeah. I don't think would have been as good as Zack Snyder's Justice League was.
Yeah. So
in some ways, it's kind of like what is. You know what I mean? What is the better path? Is the better path getting a better film or getting more films?
See, the thing is like Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
Would have never been released in the state that it was in.
Yeah.
Unless it was literally through HBO Max when we were in a pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
And HBO Max were desperately needing content.
It would have been a reduced 2.5-hour version.
Which probably would have been shit. Or they would have probably split it into 2.
Well, it was already a fucking 3-parter, so...
Well, yeah, and it's like...
You know, how long
it literally would have never happened. Like, it's one of them, like, as it was. Do people seriously think that they would release a 4-hour Justice League movie in cinemas? I know that I know movies are pushing 3 hours now.
Yeah.
But if you release a 4-hour blockbuster into cinemas, no one will watch it.
No, exactly.
At least not one like Zack Snyder's Justice League.
No.
Like, not anything like that. And that's not to say it's a bad film. It's just... I think this is the thing, is like... To be fair to WB, and I don't want to say I want to defend the fucking mega company, but... Man of Steel didn't flop.
Yeah.
But it didn't do great.
Man of Steel did good. What, 700 million?
500.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't. 500, 600. Wasn't terrible.
For what it's worth, that would be considered a very successful superhero film.
Oh yeah, I mean, they compared to the Flash. But Batman v Superman made 800 million. Not a bad score.
That's okay. Again,
not a bad score.
Look at it today.
Well, yeah, but also the negative reviews, which again, Warner Brothers.
Also, what else came out that year?
Suicide Squad.
That did. I mean, I'm assuming that did.
That did better.
Yeah,
but
also won an Oscar.
But. Yeah, do you get it though? Like imagine like a Batman v Superman movie.
Yeah.
Like making 800 million, making less than $1 billion when it's Batman and Superman in the same film.
I don't think there's anyone out there aside from stupid people who would say that Zack Snyder's universe was it was what happened to it wasn't right.
No, 100%.
But at the same time, I don't think you could argue that Warner Brothers wouldn't have eventually made some of the decisions they did.
You see, people who say that like Zack Snyder's universe was this huge success and everyone wanted wanted it. Okay, very loud people online did, but if you released Zack Snyder's Justice League as it was in cinemas, it would have bombed.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It would have 100% bombed. I mean, to be honest, I think the reason why the 2017 Justice League bombed, like as it was, the Joss Whedon version, wasn't because everyone was like, fuck Joss Whedon, we're not going to see it. It was because people should be like generally, to be fair. It was because people didn't win its Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Right? And while Wonder Woman was successful, I just think the overall hype coming into Justice League was at an all-time low. Because the film that was actually building it up was a colossal failure.
Yeah.
Like, at least in terms of when it released, it's the theatrical cut.
The
ultimate cut, as well, was better. It's better received. But first impressions...
Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is the most underappreciated villain of our time.
First impressions are everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the theatrical cut is a fucking mess.
Oh yeah.
And that's Warner Brothers' fault.
Yeah.
I honestly do think if Warner Brothers stuck to the guns and stopped being so fucking reactionary... it probably would have made a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Probably would have been... I mean, the ultimate cut. Yeah, it's 3 hours. But I think it probably would have done fine.
Okay. Here's a question.
It's a tough like thing to navigate.
Say that we kind of ignore the DCEU happened, and we say it started today.
Yeah.
How do you think it would do?
Like with Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Assuming like everything else beforehand, it hasn't happened yet.
Assuming it felt a lot less like. Because I think part of the problem with the original DCEU was it felt like a knee-jerk reaction to the MCU.
See, part of why Man of Steel, I think, was slightly underperformed. Was because of Superman Returns.
Yeah.
It was similar to Batman Begins. When Batman Begins came out, because of the aftermath of Batman and Robin, really hurt.
Yeah.
And so Batman Begins comes out, and it's a totally different movie. But again, it's that kind of I think that's part of why the Suicide Squad didn't do as well.
Yeah.
Still did well, relatively in a pandemic, but one of many reasons why that film bombed was because of that. Main reason was the pandemic, but I do think the fact that it was following up 2016
Suicide
Squad, which is kind of widely considered a piece of shit. Like,
don't know about that one. No, released the air cut.
Yeah.
That was on the fucking image I saw as well.
Released it.
David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
That was never... It released.
Yeah.
It released.
Yeah.
It came out.
No, but we need the Ayer version.
But James Gunn didn't cancel it. It just didn't come out. Like, it's a director's cut. It was never officially.
James Gunn apologist.
It was never officially in the works. It was just a cut of the movie.
They were going to release the Ayer cut on HBO Max, and then James Gunn came out and stabbed everyone involved.
Like, I just love.
And then he hired David fucking Corner, and it was too far.
I just love how just most of the DCEU is just riddled with lies. And like people say like this happened, and like to go like no it didn't.
No, it didn't.
It just that never happened, and people go you see, can we take his word for it? Like
he's James Gunn. He is a toxic apologist.
James there was that one tweet where like someone had said about Margot Robbie.
Was
it?
And James Gunn replied no.
No, but then they're like, was it? People are telling me otherwise. And it's like, James Gunn is saying to you. Like these people don't want to hear. Like, and that's the thing about Snyder people. I totally get it. I totally get it. He was fucked over.
Yeah.
Right. But Zack Snyder's doing fine.
Oh yeah, he's got fucking Rebel Moon coming out.
Zack Snyder is releasing a fucking space opera. Like, and that's the unfortunate thing. I never see these like fucking Snyderverse people.
No.
I never see them talking about Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
I never see them talking about Army of the Dead. I never see them talking about his other films.
Yeah.
And even then, when they do talk about his other films, it's all in relation to the Snyderverse. Why can't these people just support Zack Snyder as a filmmaker instead of demanding him to be in the same spot that he was in 10 years ago? Which, quite frankly, I mean, I know he says, I'd like to come back, but that's assuming, but it's one of them. He kind of says that, assuming that Warner Brothers would ask him to come back.
I also find it really funny that they say, sell it to Netflix, because Netflix have a great track record when it comes to franchises and letting things last.
But also, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. Why would Warner Brothers willingly... Why would they willingly... if Warner Brothers did that, they would be stupid. Even if that was a realistic thing, that something like that could happen. Why would they
take out all semblance of realism?
Okay.
If there was a tweet,
that's what Snyder fans do every day. So,
if you saw on Twitter, Warner Brothers are selling the Snyderverse to Netflix. Netflix are going to make every film Zack Snyder had in mind. Would you want it?
No.
No?
I think it would cause more problems.
Really?
Because think about it. We're already going to have problems with 2 Batmen.
No, ignore that.
Oh, okay.
Ignore that.
Okay. No. If Zack Snyder wanted to do it...
Yeah.
Then maybe. But, at the same time, just to bring it back to that, if this was going on, while we were still getting Brave and the Bold...
Oh, yeah, no, it would be...
The Batman. Are we going to have 3 Batman? 3 of them!
That would be a shit show. But ignoring, box office, ignoring how it would affect other films, just straight up, if you were told, Zack Snyder's universe is coming back...
I wouldn't be against it necessarily. Yeah. I think the ship's sailed. I think it's over now. I think it's too late.
I would clap like a seal.
I know. Yeah, it's too late. I don't really know what else.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think that ship sailed, and I think what I'd rather. Look.
See, okay, this is the interesting thing as well, because I've said that about 10 times. Because fucking
so many interesting things.
There's so many interesting things. I think part of the problem with the Snyderverse compared to the MCU is the Snyderverse is Zack Snyder's thing, right? First and foremost.
Yes.
And everything about the Snyderverse, I feel has to be Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
But it's a cinematic universe, where lots of other films are directed by other directors.
Yeah.
And it's why I always think nobody ever talks about Wonder Woman or Shazam, because none of the Snyder fans, because as much as those are Snyderverse films, they're not Snyder. You know what I mean? They're not Snyder. They don't fit in with the tone of the films.
See, that's always been my problem with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And Aquaman is Wonder Woman feels like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and so if
and these came out within a year of each
exactly.
other, and it's like, I think that's the main problem is the DCEU had no cohesion.
No, exactly. And so if the Snyder fans were to get what they want, and the Snyderverse was set to be re-put on Netflix, sold to Netflix, he was going to make all the rest of the films.
Yeah.
For them to get what they would want, Zack Snyder would have to direct all fucking 20 of these films. That would kill a man.
No, yeah. Like, I mean, and that's the problem. Is like the Snyderverse. I don't think would have worked.
No, the most, and I would have ate this up. Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But you know that.
But that's just not going to happen.
The problem is with that. Even if we got that, that's not enough for fans.
Well, yeah, they want the Snyderverse back. They wanted the Snyder Cut, and then it went from Snyder Cut to restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
They're never going to stop.
No, exactly.
And that's the thing is they can get upset, but they're never.
Didn't help. The Zack Snyder's Justice League did end with half an hour of setup for the next film.
Well, but that's because they just released it in the state that it was in. Yeah, it was one of them. I don't think even with that stuff they would never. Yeah, they never intended. It was never gonna it was never gonna do that. That the whole point of the Snyder Cut was HBO Max needed content because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because they were starting up at a bad time.
Yeah.
And they needed content, so they were like, well, what do we do? What's an easy way forward to get subscribers? Oh, the fans are clamouring for the Snyder Cut. Let's release that.
And it won an Oscar.
When
the Flash enters the Speed Force. You know what? I don't remember that moment. I adore Zack Snyder's Justice League.
You don't remember that moment? What do you mean? You don't remember when Barry entered the Speed Force?
The Flash entered the Speed Force.
Sorry, the Flash.
You're fucking facts,
The Flash entered
it's an
the
iconic.
Speed Force.
It was the best movie moment in 2020.
Wasn't Johnny Depp's random movie in that too?
Yeah, because it was Johnny Depp.